y'all doing?
Hey, it's A Nikki B on the scene, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another beat with me. And if you are not, welcome back. I know it has been a while since I posted a video. It's been honestly almost about a good month and some change, but I promise you I'll be coming back stronger and better. I just got really caught up with life and work and just things in my personal life that I just wanted to sort out before I dive right back into creating content. I missed all of you, and I can't wait to start posting more consistently, engaging with you all more, and building this community brick by brick. Well, let's get right into it. So the first topic, we are going to talk about Shannon Sharpe and his last couple of rendezvous that he had with these women. And the first video that I've heard from him against my will was when he was on Instagram Live. For some reason, it was by accident that he went Instagram Live, even though it really didn't make any sense because you seemed like you were pretty busy in an activity that I will not further explain. But he went on Instagram Live by accident, and he was saying a couple of explicit things. Well, it wasn't really too explicit, but he was doing the do with his little Michelle. And then now, months later, now we got this other situation with this 19-year-old girl that he has been dating or whatever, and she's been kind of calling him out, accusing him of assault and everything, even though I think by now it has came out as false allegations. I think he's suing her or something like that. But there's another woman, I think the Michelle woman, she's kind of coming out the woodwork trying to sue him for something, whatever. And I just wanted to quickly just say my thoughts on this. I just think Shannon just needs to move a little differently if he's going to be partaking with these young women, and I get it. A lot of people will say it is weird that he is a 57-year-old man dating somebody. Well, at least I think at the time he was 56 and she was 19. Either way, I think it will always be weird when older people of that age, or just way older, just dating somebody who is 18, 19, because yes, by law they are an adult and can somewhat make sound decisions. But I just feel like at least for me, the older I get, the less I'm just not attracted to somebody who is years younger than me. It's just weird. And again, that's just me talking as a broke person. But somebody like Shannon Sharpe, who has money, he's always going to surround himself around the younger women, this and that. And like I said, I just think he needs to just be a little more cautious for when he is, messing with these younger girls, because you just don't know what you're getting yourself into. And, it's Shannon Sharpe. I feel like he's always getting clowned for something, and no one really is taking him seriously like that. And I know he's trying to be serious, trying to have his little podcast show interview-esque type of series going on. I watch it from time to time if it's somebody that I'm interested in. And he's trying to make a name for himself, and I see that. But it seemed like his sex life has been making him more of a name than his actual work that he's doing, and I think it's just overshadowing him. And another discourse about the situation, like people was like, oh, he needs to date women like Tracy Ellis Ross, and I'm just like, first of all, Tracy Ellis Ross don't want to date somebody like Shannon Sharpe. Tracy needs somebody that's not immature, that's not looking for the young women, because let's be real, the people that are her age, which is Shannon Sharpe and other men in Hollywood, they're not going for a Tracy Ellis Ross, and it has nothing to do with her looks. It has nothing to do with anything. She's a beautiful woman, talented, wealthy. She's awesome, but they don't want a Tracy Ellis Ross. They want a young bimbo, a young girl that they could prop on their shoulders and be like, this is my lady, and she looks like the hottest thing in the room. Somebody that doesn't have a brain. Like, they're looking for that. It's Hollywood. What can you really expect? And I just don't like the fact that people were trying like, oh, he need to go for somebody like Tracy. It's like, first of all, Tracy don't want that. Tracy need herself a real man. And now we're going to talk about Monet and her boyfriend. Now, honestly, there's been so much discourse about this couple. Now, first of all, Monet is a Jersey girl. Shout out to Jersey. And I just have a couple of things. First and foremost, it seemed like every time I come on the social medias, somebody got something bad to say about Monet. You would have thought that this girl has said something bad or her boyfriend had done something bad. And it's not to say these two people are the most perfect people in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, they seem pretty chill. They post cool content. They look nice together. They have nice things. They make, crispy content, and that's that. Like, I really just don't understand the hate. And they just been, and I feel like Monet been receiving a lot more hate ever since she been in this relationship with him. And I just hope they don't allow social media to tear them apart. We know how social media can be and warp somebody's thoughts, and I just hope they don't let social media get in between them. But like I said, I just think it's just a lot of unnecessary hate, because what's been going around is that her boyfriend, I forgot his name, but her boyfriend bought a house down south, and there has been this rumor going around that it was once a slave house. And people's like, oh, it's a slave house, and a lot of slaves died. Why they're doing that is very insensitive to the history. And I'm just like, well, first and foremost, the first question I asked was that, has it been proven that it was a slave house? I don't think anybody have proved that it was a slave house. And let's say, by theory, let's say it was a former slave house. I would rather them own it and take care and preserve the history and to pay respect than to have somebody that looked like a Jeff Bezos having that house. For some reason, when it comes to Monet and her boyfriend, every time they do something, somebody always got something to say. I'm like, are y'all jealous because they actually look happy together and actually living a life together? And I don't think it's necessarily Monet's house, even though she does say that is their house. And I mean, they've been together for a while, so mi casa, you casa, whatever how the hell that saying go. But it is what it is. So people are like coming at her on her page saying, oh, how can you own this house? But like, listen, you guys are weird. It hasn't been proven that it was a slave house, but even if it was, I don't want to say who cares. I'm just, if anything, like I said, I'm just more so on the side of, I'm just glad it's them, because one, they seem like they're pretty in tune with their cultures and what their their history, their black history, like African American history, their what else is Monet? Is she Puerto Rican? I don't remember. I just know she mixed with a lot of things. She seems to be very in tune with her culture and her boyfriend as well. So again, I never saw them and thought, oh, they're trying to erase something about themselves. I never got that vibe. Like, she always been, especially Monet, she always been very proud of showing her family, and you just see the diversity. Like, why y'all hating? I just think people just find them very beautiful together. They look happy, and people are just trying to find something wrong, especially with her boyfriend. Like, it seemed like every time he definitely does something, oh, somebody always got something to say. Y'all remember that time when he was talking about the whole sassy conversation and trying to say like her boyfriend is sassy, this and that, and I think he said a couple of things that raised a couple of eyebrows. So again, I kind of just brushed it past. I'm like, whatever, that's their relationship. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they're going to do. I just hope they don't allow the social media to come in between them, because again, we all know how the internet can get. It can really warp a lot of people's thoughts, and it can ruin a lot of things. So I just hope they just work through this madness with these rumors. It's very annoying, and like I said, it's like y'all just trying to find something, so y'all just need to go outside and touch some grass like they are. I just want to quickly add this in here. I saw Sinners twice. Now, the first time was amazing. The second time, even amazinger. And I wish I could see it for a third time. But I don't have a third time, buddy, and that is okay. Because I would love to see it in IMAX. But if you have not seen Sinners, you are completely missing out. And I would say it is a great film. I think it's not, I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest films of all time, but it's definitely up there in a great, such as a great story. It had very great storytelling. The characters were well developed. The music was great. The costumes were amazing. Like, you were watching a good movie. Like, that was good. And now I feel like every time I see Ryan Coogler's name on something, I know it's about to hit. Now, Jordan Peele, he's a little up there for me too, but sometimes Jordan Peele, he be losing me a little bit. But this ain't about Jordan Peele. I just kind of went on a tangent. But yes, if you have not seen Sinners, watch it. You will be scared. And normally, I'm not really scared watching films. I think there's something the way everything was just placed. I think the blocking, of how everything was placed, how the movement, the cameras, like something about it was just different to me. That is genuinely, what's the word? Evoked the fear in me. Is evoked the right word? Evoked or provoked? See, that's how you know I gotta keep reading, because it's a lot. But anyway, it definitely put fear in me a little bit, especially that one scene. I don't want to give too much spoilers away, but let's just say that one scene with cornbread, I was like, oh, I had to go home and watch some positive stuff, because I'm like, it low-key was like, that looks scary. And like I said, normally when I do watch scary movies, and I'm a horror fan, I like thrillers, psychological thrillers, I like monsters, zombies, vampires, whatever, I like watching stuff like that, and I'm never really scared. If anything, I'm more of like adrenaline filled, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next, but this, it had me sit back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, okay. And then it incorporated a lot of history, a lot of things that I honestly did not think about or knew, and I thought, wow, like, I did not know that. Like, it made me want to do more research. Like, I appreciated that. I think Ryan Coogler, I would consider him to be a historian in some way, because he always incorporates history in every faction, and it's not just African American history, it's all history, American history, if you will. Like, he always teaches you something. OMG, the Saratoga guy, like, I watched a lot of his videos, and I will tell you, it just gets funnier and funnier. But it's like, it's not like he's a funny guy. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I just think, first of all, I already know he's making bands, so it has nothing to do with his pockets here. It's just like, how do you come up with this? Like, what was the blueprint to this, the conversation surrounding by this? 'Cause I think he was like a former football player or something like that, or he played football in college. I don't really know his background like that. All I know, he is, I would assume he's sponsored by the Saratoga water, and probably a couple of other businesses. I know his videos, he be talking on the laptop. At this point, I don't even know if he's really talking to people. He just got a tight suit on and the laptop is open. But he probably does some other business on the side. So I already know he's making bands, and definitely making bands from Instagram with his videos, for sure. But it's just so hilarious just watching that. Like, I just love it when people just famous off of this BS, and I mean that in a positive way. I don't mean that negatively, because like I said, he's making bands, do what he gotta do, but it's just BS. If you watch his videos, you will understand what I'm saying. He literally gets ready to get ready. Lastly, we're going to talk about Miss Coco Jones. Now, first and foremost, I did not know she was coming out with an album. I'm like, Miss Mamas is coming out with the album and nobody heard about it until the Breakfast Club. And it wasn't even like a proper introduction. Like, her team did not send them like the CD or something like that, or the album for them to listen to and have some sort of feedback. And I think one of the other ladies, not Jess, it was the other one, I forgot her name, but she said she had to like pretty much rush to listen to like the album to form some opinions on it and everything, so she could have some sort of discussion. And I just feel like, I don't know. First of all, I think Coco's team should have did better at sending, the album and being more prepared. So when she does these interviews and, going through these, different interview shows, whatever, the other people, the people that's interviewing her could be prepared. Because what's the point of rolling out an album if no one knows about it? Because it definitely felt like a self-sabotage, and so I definitely, not self-sabotage, but like her team was sabotaging her. So I definitely felt where Charlamagne was coming from. But at the same time, if I was the Breakfast Club, if we didn't get the CD, then hello, there's computers, there's phones, listen to the album. I'm sure she got the songs on there. Do something, But then at the same time, I'm also a stickler for like, if you ain't gonna do it all the way, don't do it at all. I don't like half work. Don't do the half work. And that's pretty much what the other chick did on the Breakfast Club. Like, she did the work, but I will say half work because she's kind of like the only one who's really trying to like, put something together because they didn't have anything, and also because she was the one who put something together, she would probably be the only one conducting the conversation, like, you know, really like pushing the conversation. It's like, appreciate it, but it ain't really helping, because again, the rest of everybody don't know. And again, the entire conversation was literally about Charlamagne saying like her team messing her up, because they were supposed to send it. They, I guess, either reached out to them, never got anything, and then now Coco's on the interview, and here we are. And I think they tried to reschedule the interview, but I think either her team was like no, either the team said no, they could still keep the interview, which is like okay, but it's just like, what are y'all doing? And like I said, I didn't know this girl was coming out with the album until she was on the Breakfast Club. I'm driving to work, I'm listening to it, and she's like sitting there, and they was like, yeah, we haven't listened to it, you know. And I felt kind of bad for her. I'm just like, I know she probably worked really hard on this, you know, and she did definitely defend her team, you know, at the production company, whatever, the music company. And I get it, you don't want to get dropped, girl, I get it. She was defending them, but I just kind of felt bad for her, because it's like, you probably worked extremely hard on it, you know, and you know, you want to make more of a name for yourself, I guess, in the R&B scene, whatever the case may be. Like, you're trying to become something, you're working hard, you're trying to be this established artist, and this is kind of like your beginning rollout. It just feels very messy. It feels very like unplanned with her team. Well, that's all I had to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know my face was not in the video, but that is okay, because it is nighttime and I'm about to go to bed. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any comments or thoughts, please leave it down in the comment section below, and I will be sure to engage, because I love engagement. I love to hear what you guys think, and come on, let's keep this engagement popping. So please, if you have anything to share, please drop it down below, and I will get to you in 2.5 seconds. As always, I will be back again with another video.